What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of The Build. I'm John with Grand Exploration, and today we're doing a walk around on my baby, the Granite Grand, my 2015 WK2 Grand Cherokee. This is my Overland build. What is going on, guys? Yes, here she is, my baby, the Granite Grand. But before I start getting into all the mods and stuff that I've done to this WK2, I just want to give you a little backstory on exactly how this build came to be. I've been overlanding for about 2 years now, actually right when I got this WK2. And at that time, I knew nothing about overlanding other than videos I've seen on YouTube, and it just looked like the coolest thing in the world to me. But I knew nothing about the mods and all the gear and everything you need to actually get up on the trail. Or let me rephrase that, make your trail experience better. So what I'm trying to say is, I didn't know what would be right for me. I didn't know what gear would be good for me. I didn't know what I needed, what I don't need. And the last thing I wanted to do was just buy a whole bunch of gear and not use half of it. Also, I didn't see it necessary to pay top dollar for all the top name brands that everyone on the internet says, you know, you have to be an overlander. Instead, what I did was I bought the cheaper versions of the things I knew I wanted in the Jeep. For instance, I knew I wanted a fridge in the back of the Jeep, but I wasn't gonna pay top dollar for a Dometic, even though a Dometic is a sick fridge. At that time, I didn't know if that would be right for me. So I bought a cheap version, and from there, I can kind of pick and choose as my skills get better and I make overlanding more a part of my life. I'm able to choose the things that I can upgrade. Now, okay, now I know I want to upgrade this, let me buy something a little better. So that's how this build kind of started. Some of the things in it are still the cheap versions of stuff, and some of those cheap things I may just stick with because they work for me. So if you're getting into overlanding, or if you're just now starting to do a build, think about it that way. Don't go spend all the money in the world getting the coolest stuff. Find out what works for you, figure it out, and then work from there. But I'm gonna stop talking now and let's get into this build. All right, first things first, I'm gonna get into tires and suspension. Normally I would say tires and wheels, but these wheels are actually the stock Grand Cherokee wheels. They were just powder coated black when I got the Jeep, so no need to go too far into those. But for tires, I am now running the Yokohama Geolander MTs on a 275/65/18. I think that works out to be about 32.5, give or take. Actually perfect size. Before I actually had the lift, I didn't really get any rubbing. The only thing I had was just it very lightly skimming the felt liner. It wasn't even touching the pinch weld. So I think this is probably the perfect size for me. I get full articulation and I don't have to worry about cutting up my bumper or ripping out my fenders. So I'm happy with those. Just before these, I was running the Nitto Ridge Grapplers, which is an awesome tire. I had actually ordered some more of those, but they were on back order and just taking way too long. So I decided to bump up to mud terrains, my first set of mud terrains. So I'm gonna see how they do on the trail this coming weekend, and I'll let you guys know. But now, for my most proud part of this build, this upgrade I just did with my buddy Mike from Own Your Recreation on YouTube. If you don't follow him, or if you're not subscribed to him, do that now. That dude is awesome. He's got a sick WJ. If you like WJs, go ahead and subscribe to his channel. But he helped me put in this new suspension, so come in a little closer and check it out. I am running the Dobinson's IMS 2.5-inch lift. This thing is pretty sick. My buddy Mike from Own Your Recreation, he helped me put these in this past week, and these are awesome. I love them so far. I'll be putting them on the trail the first time this weekend, actually. I'm still running the stock control arms. I may upgrade those here in the near future, but I'm just gonna see how this suspension feels on its own. So I'm really excited about that. Those are adjustable struts as well. So if you're looking for a lift for the WK2, Dobinson is a really high rated one. I really do recommend them. All right, since we are down here already, introducing my rock rails. I love these things. These are made by Off-Road Animal. This is their, I don't know the actual name they gave this one, but it's more of their slim, sleek looking one. I know a lot of guys like to run bigger ones that kind of angle up, and those are probably better protection for more grueling trails and a lot of rocks. I don't really need that for everything I'm doing. These have suited me well, and I love the slim, sleek look. You don't even really notice them until you're like right on them. You're like, oh, those aren't stock. But I love these things, and these did save me in Sedona on Schnebley Hill Road. Check out that video. That was a crazy one. But yeah, Off-Road Animal rock rails. I love them. Moving back up to the front of the vehicle. These are my Rough Country 2-inch ditch lights or light pods. No complaints with these things, man. Actually, there is one. The screen on these is a little concave, so if you're driving through like a lot of snow and stuff, snow does tend to cake up on the front there, and you got to kind of wipe it out. But other than that, these things have been great. What I really like about them is these switch from white light to amber, and they throw a really good light. So I love these things. Probably just keep these on for now until I find something better, but I have no complaints. I love them. This here, my 30-inch curved light bar. This is also Rough Country. And let me add, all of the light pods in this light bar, they're the Rough Country Black Series. So the insides are all blacked out. This one is my favorite light bar so far. This thing throws light. It turns night into day. So I really love this one. I am not a huge fan of light bars up top, only because when there's a lot of particles in the air, dusts, all that kind of stuff on trails at night, it pretty much blinds you. You see every particle in the air. But on a nice still night, with nothing, no particles or anything like that, this thing will throw light like no other. So I really love that one, and I highly recommend it. That's a Rough Country 30-inch curved light bar, single row. And also, the biggest upgrade to the Granite Grand is this boy right here, Bravo. Say hi, bro. He makes the Jeep look so much better. All right, on to some of those budget things that I was talking about earlier. This right here is my roof rack. It is the Roller Rack. I actually got it off Amazon. And this thing's been great. I don't think it's the strong. It doesn't hold all the weight like some of the good ones like Prinsu racks or Front Runner or Chief Products, but it works for the things that I carry on it. You like my traction boards and my fuel tanks and all that. The one mod I did to this though, and a lot of people ask me about, is how I get it looking so low. What I did was I just got the cheap crossbars from Amazon, and I deleted the riser that comes on these crossbars, and I just bolted them straight to the side rail. I'm sure that it decreases the amount of weight that it can carry, but I always carry this stuff on my rack all the time when I'm on the trails. Those gas cans are both 2.5 gallons, carry them full, and I've had no problems at all. So I love it. And I know a lot of people have been asking me about it. That's what I did. I just bolted the crossbars straight down to the side rails. Gives it a nice little low profile look. Also, another thing that a lot of people have asked me about is this huge antenna. Oops, sorry for the noise, guys. This car is driving by. This huge antenna on the back connected to my roof rack. That is a WeBoost cell phone signal boost. This is the Sleek OTR. It's kind of the mid-range of what they offer. There's another one that will offer signal boost throughout the car to anyone's phone that's in the car. Mine actually hooks to a cradle, and that cradle looks like this. Sorry for the mess, guys. Got a lot of stuff in here, but That is the cradle that your phone will sit in if you're trying to get a gain some bars if you have no service. That has worked great in Utah when we're out on Silver Mountain Island Canyon and in the Bonneville Salt Flats, also in Sedona. That helped quite a bit. I went from 0 bars to 3 bars by just flipping that switch. So that is that big antenna on the back there. All right, now we move to the back. There's Mr. Bravo again. What's up, bud? Say hi. He's over this. He's like, when we're going to the park. All right, to the back. Now, once again, there's that fridge I was talking about. This here, I just went and got a fridge slide off Amazon. I can't remember exactly how much it was. It wasn't too much. I think it was like $100, maybe less. And this is just some cheapy fridge called I think Supike car refrigerator. Doesn't get more cheap than that, but this thing has worked for me. It's been about 2 years now, yeah, just under 2 years. I've taken it all over on all of our trips, and it does the job. I put meat in there, drinks in there. The only thing is it's either a freezer or a fridge. There's no two, like a lot of the more top name brand fridges. You can actually have 2 in 1. This is just one or the other, but it works for what I need. I got my toolbox in there, ouch pouch. That's a more full, complete first aid kit. I keep a trauma pack up front, you'll see in a second. And this is my power bank. This is the Blue Eddy EB55. It's a 700 watt power bank. This thing's great. I will probably upgrade to 1,000 watt for more camping accessories like blenders and stuff like that. But this thing has been great for everything I use it for. I charge up my drones, all my cameras, all the batteries and things like that. So I've taken this everywhere with me too. It's been a lifesaver. And I also use it to power the fridge. So I will plug in the Blue Eddy power bank while I'm driving and have the fridge being powered off the Blue Eddy. So it works great. And also, if you're wondering what that little thing is right here, this is a water pump that I installed, just a little DIY project. I got it off of Amazon. It came with the hose and spout. We have jet skis, so I like to use that. That's what it was originally for, was to spray off the jet skis when we bring them off the out of the water. But we also use it for camping and just outdoors. We got water. I stick one end of the hose into my water jug and use the other side to spray. I also clean Bravo off when he gets muddy, so that thing's been great. That works for me. So yeah, that's about it for the back. Oh, and the fire extinguisher and flashlight. Always good tools to keep while overlanding. Get our way to the cockpit. Here we are here. I usually keep, there's that trauma pack I was telling you about. I keep that easily accessible. Tourniquet there. Another tourniquet up there. Yeah, it usually goes in my bag. There's my switch panel for all those lights and light bars. I have another light bar to show you that's actually on the front of the vehicle. But yeah, I control it all with this guy, and just all goes into one box under the hood, and I don't have to mess with a whole bunch of wires or nothing. I also got this Molly panel here just for some of my accessories and my radio. I don't have a CB or anything like that. I actually have a handheld ham Bailfang. No, I don't have my license yet, so I usually just use that for emergencies only if that should come about. But I have other walkie-talkies and stuff, and I just kind of put my accessories on that. That's a Six Monkeys panel right there. So check them out if you like that. They have a lot of great stuff. And another thing I like to talk about is actually how I mount all my accessories. So my iPad when I'm using my off-road maps, my Onyx off-road, I like to have everything just kind of right there next to me, and my phone, and then this is for my wife's phone, just magnetic. I was looking for something that where I didn't have to cut into the dash or anything like that, and it was kind of hard because usually when you get clips that go into your vents, they're chintzy and they fall apart. But these are made by a company called Pro Clips USA. These things are awesome, man. They stick in here and they are specific to your vehicle. So you go on their website and put in your vehicle, year and all that, and they actually will have a clip specifically designed for the vents on your vehicle. So those are pretty sick. And there's that front light bar I was telling you about. That one right there is just a real cheap light bar off Amazon. It's a nightlight. You can see all the water and condensation in there. I actually smacked it on a rock not too long ago, and some of the lights aren't working now. I'm just gonna change it out, but probably with another cheap one, only because it sits so low that it's vulnerable to things hitting it, and I don't wanna spend for a big expensive one and put it down there in harm's way. So that one's good there for now. I'm also running rough country tow hooks. Those things have saved me quite a bit. If you're going out on the trails and you don't have a recovery point and they're gonna have to put a snatch strap around your axle, good luck. So I'd recommend getting a tow hook. That was actually probably, other than my first set of tires, my very first overlanding mod was those rough country tow hooks. So Chief Products makes great ones too. I might upgrade to that, but these have worked so far. And then working down a little bit, it's my washer fluid reservoir. I actually have a little protective guard on there. That's from Six Monkeys as well. I will end up upgrading to a whole new bash plate where everything under there is covered anyway. Or I may just do a whole washer fluid delete or putting it in a different location. I heard they have a lot of those. I haven't looked into it yet, but I may just move it from that area. And last but not least, my skid plating. Starting to get a little beat up. You see that down there? That's from Sedona. Nice little scrapes under there. These are the Six Monkeys aluminum skid plating. I don't have the full body protection under there now, but I got all the major components covered. And these things have been great. These have saved me countless times. Before you get out on the trails, if you do nothing else to your vehicle, make sure you get skid plating. You will not regret it. And if you don't, you will regret it. Trust me. Almost forgot. My headlight assemblies. A lot of people notice that they're not the same as the stock ones, although it does have the same configurations inside. I didn't want to switch to the HIDs or the LEDs or whatever, I can't think right now, but the aftermarket ones that a lot of people get, simply because I like how everything fits perfectly. And when you get those upgraded ones with the LED strips in them that a lot of people get, that kind of mimic the newer year of the Grand Cherokee, it comes with a spacer right here, a black spacer. And it may not bother anybody else, but to me, I always see that when I see them drive by, and I just hate it. But I guess to each their own. Instead, I went with, I can't remember the name of these. I also found these on Amazon. I just like them because the insides of these, the guts of the assembly is all black. So I think it just kind of gives it a nice little look. But if you do get these, just make sure you seal up your headlights before you install them, because if you don't and it starts raining, they'll just be fogged up all the time, and that's not cool. So, but yeah, I like these a lot. And if you're wondering what that little box is on my dash, that is actually my satellite communicator. So here, I'll pull it off for you guys. I have it on some Velcro. This is my Zoleo. Some people rock Garmin's and Garmin Minis and things like that. This actually connects to my phone, and I can text my emergency contacts if I'm off grid and have no service. Also, the SOS, I hit that button and they come for me. They rescue me wherever I am, whether it be helicopter or search and rescue, things like that. So this is a really cool one. I actually did quite a bit of research on this device, because originally I was going to go with the Garmin Mini. Garmin Mini is a little bit more expensive, but one of the things that I heard about it, and I could be wrong, this is just what I heard, because I didn't get a chance to actually play with one, was that when you send out a distress signal or a message, you have no idea if that message actually went through or not to the satellites and to the recipient. With the Zoleo, I actually get confirmation that my message went through. So if I'm ever in an emergency and I have a tree on my back or something, I don't have to wonder if my message went through. I can hit that SOS, I can contact my contact or emergency contacts, and I will know that my message did go through to them. And I can send them my coordinates. It actually automatically will send the coordinates to anyone I send it to. I can hit that little check button, and that's just like when I'm gone too long in the woods, my wife wants to know where I'm at, I can hit that check button or do it on my phone, and it will say, hey honey, I'm okay, these are my coordinates. So this thing is really cool to have. One note to that, if you're gonna get an emergency GPS contact or signal device, really look into, I think it's IRECC, rescue insurance. Because if you do need to get rescued, there will be a hefty bill with that. Trust me, especially if a helicopter has to come in. So that insurance is awesome to have. It's peace of mind. Go ahead and check that out. And it's not expensive at all. I don't remember off top, but it is super cheap. It's very inexpensive. And you'd be dumb not to get rescue insurance. So make sure you do that. All right, guys, that is it. That is the walk around of my 2015 WK2 Grand Cherokee, the Granite Grand. That is my Overland build. Please, if you like this video, do not forget to like and subscribe. It helps the channel out a bunch. I love you guys for watching, and stay tuned because the Granite Grand is always evolving and always getting new stuff. So, till next time.